Hello everyone, my name is Fleur, and in today's evening stretch and meditation we're just going to work into opening our heart, into finding some space in the shoulders and the chest, and then we're going to sit and meditate. So before we start, let's come onto our hands and knees and just take a moment to feel into your body as you're here. Take a little cat-cow stretch. Sometimes that can feel quite nice after a long day. Just a gentle way to move through the spine, round the shoulders, and then open the chest. You can either inhale when you round the shoulders, expanding through the back of the breath, or exhale, and then inhale or exhale as you open the chest. See what feels good for you. Little movements, pressing the hands down to the floor as you round. And as you open the chest, think of softening your mid-back. And then move it any way you like when you're ready. Little movements through the spine, maybe in a circular motion, side to side. And then from here we're going to come into a wide-legged child's pose. So open the knees quite wide. Sit back into the heels if that's available. And then rest your head on your hands, or you can reach your arms forward. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale side out. And then breath by breath arrive in this pose. So allowing yourself to let the shoulders soften. Feel how the belly can release. It gets a little bit compressed here. Notice how the breath expands into the back. And with each exhalation, you become a little bit calmer, a little bit more grounded. Feel that connection from your forehead to the floor, that slight pressure point. And imagine it's like a healing point, a release into the earth. Whatever the day was for you today, you're releasing the day now, you're letting go. You're letting the day be what it was. And what matters now is that you're just here, you're present with yourself, with your breath. Feel the deep breath as you breathe in and the softening as you breathe out. Let your legs become very heavy. Let your chest sink more and more towards the floor. Just a few more breaths here. You can start observing how the body begins to release. And maybe you notice a single point of focus. Maybe you notice the forehead on the floor, the movement in your back. Or maybe you see the bigger picture, your body on the floor as a whole. The whole movement with the breath. And then take one more deep breath in here. And then a big exhale out, side out if you like. And then slide yourself forward onto your elbows. Bring the knees a little bit closer together. And then either stretch out both arms and rest the forehead again on the floor so you're opening through the chest and the shoulders. Or if this is too intense, you can bend one elbow first, rest your forehead on it, and then reach the other arm away so you're stretching out through one arm at a time. If you're doing both, we're just going to hold this for at least 10 breaths each side. So 20 breaths if you are with both arms outstretched. See if you can count in your mind. I'll count here silently in my mind. You can always change if it's uncomfortable. Try and be curious about how long your breaths are. Release the tension there that's sometimes creeping up. If it's comfortable for you, you can maybe also bring the chin down on the floor if you have both arms outstretched. Again, a pose of surrendering. If you had one arm bent, then change over to the other side now. And 10 more breaths. Let your belly become softer. Find that space as you breathe. Notice where you're holding on. And then breathing in slowly. And exhale slowly. Release. Bend your elbows if they're both straight. Bring the chest slightly further forward. And then come onto your belly. And then maybe wriggle your hips a little bit side to side. The elbows underneath the shoulders, so not too far back, not too far forward, just so that you're supporting yourself. And then maybe lift your chin a little so you feel a little stretch in your throat. If you're feeling that the lower back is tensing or you're squeezing your glutes together, see if you can release it a bit by maybe bending the elbows slightly out to the side so it's a little bit less pressure in the lower back. If you're comfortable here, you can just stay. Again, breathe into the back. Think of your lower ribs moving towards the floor. Think of a light shining from your heart forwards. Just a few more breaths here. Imagine your exhales becoming even slower, without any effort. And then slowly releasing, tucking the toes under. Bend your elbows slightly to the side so you can draw your hands back towards your shoulders and then pull yourself up. Push the floor away, roll your hips back a little bit. And come one more time to a child's pose, tucking the toes under and just round your back a little bit so you're arching, so rounding your back, not arching. Draw the belly in. And then roll forward, bring your knees a little bit towards the wrist and then come seated. And then let's come to one more forward fold before we come and sit quietly. Bring the hands around your feet, wriggle a little bit side to side, and then let your head soften down towards the feet. And just relax the head down. You might notice this in the thighs, in the lower back. Your feet can move a little bit further forward if you prefer. And feel how the weight of your head is being drawn down towards the floor.
Notice if your shoulders are still tensing, and just think of them as being allowed to let go now. You are allowing them to just become heavy. You don't need the tension anymore. You don't need to stress. You don't need to hurry. Now's your time to just become calm, peaceful, and slow. And then taking a full deep breath in again through the nose. And sigh it out again. And then slowly roll yourself back up to seated. Take maybe little movements through the spine, roll the shoulders. And then come to, if you like, a cross-legged position. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can always sit on something like a chair or maybe a pillow or a cushion. It has to be comfortable for you so that you don't round and hunch forward, but that you can just relax the body in a way that is still upright. And then just take in for a moment your gaze around you, so the area in front of you. If you're looking at the screen, see if you can just widen this perspective out of your peripheral vision, out of the corners of the eyes, having that gaze nice and soft. You can bring your thumb and forefinger together for Januachi Mudra. And then maybe just roll the shoulders once or twice or 3 times up and down, just so you really let them go. And then close your eyes slowly. Let your head balance over your hips. Imagine there's a wall that's holding you, but that wall is actually your back, your muscles in the back. So there's a little bit of effort. We're not completely floppy as we sit here. We're just holding ourselves tall with that right amount of effort. But imagining that everything is calm and floating easily over the hips. Arms hanging by the side. Legs heavy and relaxed. And then place your awareness on your breath. And there's no right way to do this at all. But you just become the witness, the observer of your breath. In the yoga philosophy, they call this Purusha and the Prakriti, I can't say it, Prakriti. So the Purushas are awareness, the one that watches. And the Prakriti, I think, is our intellect, so our thoughts, our mind, the thinker. So as you observe your breath, notice if thoughts come up. And think of observing those thoughts. And then come back to your breath. Observe the breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Nothing else to it, just your breath. If a thought comes, see it as a thought and let it go again. Practice detaching yourself from the thoughts by just coming gently back to the breath. Not trying to push the thoughts away, but just noticing them as a thought. Maybe if you do one round of breath, and then you can do another round of breath. If a thought comes, just start again with your breath.
You can always begin again if you got distracted. And the more we do this practice, the more we become aware of the nature of our thoughts. Do you tend to think about things in the past or in the future? Do judging thoughts come in? Or fantasies? Are you making lists? The more we practice coming back to the anchor points, at the moment we're doing the breath, the more space you might find there are between the thoughts, the more space in between each thought. Where you're not thinking nothing, but you're just observing the breath. You're observing yourself. And then feel your body on the floor as a whole. See the shape you're sitting in. Feel the fingertips touching, thumb and index finger. Notice the shoulders by your side hanging there. The shoulder blades heavy on your back like big plates. Feel the length of your neck. Feel your face. Feel all the muscles in your face being soft and relaxed. And then feel the space of your heart. Feel that space of the heart shining forward. Feel the breath moving into that space and widening it. Feel that love that can radiate from that place outwards. The compassion and the patience that you have inside. And then from here, bring the hands to your heart center. Lift your heart to your hands. And take a moment to thank the day, what it brought you. Whatever the day gave you today, we're always growing and expanding. So every challenge is an opportunity for us to grow. Every joy is something that we can look back on, remember and smile. So everything is there for us to embrace life. Nothing will change if we don't change ourselves. But for sure is that everything does change. That's the only constant. And then let's take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out. And just closing with a Brahmari Om, which is a hum, a wonderful vibration between your lips. Let's take a deep breath in again. I thank you for joining me today. Namaste everyone. Have a wonderful evening. I hope you sleep well. Maybe drink some herbal tea or some water, not too cold, before you go to bed. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.